Okay, so now we're going to go over to our next step, which is basic retouching. Before we go over to basic retouching, what I mostly do is set my raw conversion first. So first off, I'm just going to make my help layer here, blend that out and just blend it out completely. And I see, okay, on my raw image here, on my first original layer, is everything set? Am I happy with this? And can we go on? Alright, if you're not happy, you can just press on this little icon here, and it will bring you directly back into raw converter. You can tweak, say for instance your blacks a little bit more, your fill light, whatever you want to do, and you can say okay, and Photoshop is preparing that again for you. Now say for sometimes you have an image where it's a little bit of a darker parts and you want to just brighten those dark parts already, so that I would already do in Camera Raw. How to do that is to do a double raw conversion. So let me show you quickly what a double raw conversion is. First off, never duplicate your original layer, because once you duplicate that and change your second adjustment or do a second adjustment on that second layer, you will then also adjust your first layer with that. So you don't want that. So go press right click and say new smart object via copy. So now we have two layers. So maybe just say that to 2. This is just quick an example. I'm not going to use this in this retouch. Double click on here and say for instance you're going to now take the blacks, or you want to just brighten the blacks a little bit. So say fill light all the way up. You want to bring more exposure, more fill light into the dark parts. Then say that, say okay. Photoshop is preparing that for us, and now have a look. You got your second layer with a very bright parts, and your first layer is still set to the normal layer. Now if you want to, you can create a mask on this and paint just the light parts in. So this is just a double raw conversion that I sometimes use on my image. Let me quickly show you that also. I'm going to press Alt here and press onto my mask. So now we have a black mask, and with a brush, white foreground color, white over here, say 100 opacity, I can then paint in, just feather that a little bit, I can then paint in all these dark parts over here, which is way too much now, but as you guys can see, so if I want to have it super bright, I can paint that in and later just change my opacity a little bit over here and then say even a little bit more, and now we already have dark or very bright eyes. Okay, that is just an example quickly. I'm not going to do that for this tutorial, so let me just delete that layer again. Okay, our help layer is still over here, and now we're going to go over to our next step, which is our basic retouching. So just make sure your whole raw conversion is set and you are happy with that. Okay, what we're going to do now for that is just duplicate that via Command J, our original layer. So now we're going to do a normal duplicate. I'm going to move it here to the top, and now I'm going to press right click here and say rasterize that layer. So we're out of the smart object option. Alright, now next step that I'm going to do is just basic touching, and we're going to start with our retouching.